Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black portrays some toxic divorce trends that honestly we just need to stop. Have you seen the movie yet? If you've seen it, go ahead, jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts. The movie was not all bad. There were some things about the movie that I think are worth mentioning as positive points. For one, Meagan Good's character was surrounded by support. She had her best friend and her best friend's husband, as well as her mom and dad, who were all very supportive of her, who welcomed her with open arms when she was in her time of need. And I think that is something that we have to understand is necessary in all of our lives. We all need a support system. We need people who we can be real with about what's going on in our lives, and we need people who are going to be there for us when we fall. I mean, the Bible tells us that two are better than one, because if one falls, there's another there to catch him. Tyler Perry did a good job of like capturing the realities of the financial state of many marriages. More now, we are seeing women being the breadwinners. We are seeing more women who are earning as much as, if not more than, their husbands. And so his portrayal of that in this movie, I thought, was very accurate. And even broaching the topic of the divorce for Meagan Good's character, her having that financial standing was part of the reason, in my opinion, it seems she was able to walk away from the marriage and away from a dangerous situation, because sometimes a woman may feel, particularly in a marriage where she's being abused, that she's stuck because the man, her husband, is the breadwinner. If she doesn't stay in the marriage, where is she going to go? If she doesn't stay in the marriage, how is she going to provide for herself or her children if they have children? And so Meagan Good's character being in that position financially, as a woman who worked in corporate America, she wasn't stuck because of money, right? She was stuck because of emotional and spiritual issues that made her feel like she had to stay in the marriage. But from a financial standpoint, she was very well suited to be able to walk away and continue to live her life and have a life where she was not in need. That's on the positive side. Now let's get into these toxic. Let's get into these toxic traits. Hey love, I hope this video is helping you, but I also want to invite you to connect one-on-one with me so we can dig into your unique financial situation and create a plan that's suited to fit your specific needs. The link is in the description below. Now back to the video. There's a saying that in order for you to get over one man, you have to get under another. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, right? It's idiotic. Like, why are we doing this? But it is really a toxic mindset that a lot of people still have. People break up and then immediately the urge is to go looking for somebody else, right? Like just putting another person in that space is going to heal you or make you whole. We have got to stop doing this. I was shocked that in the movie, it was Meagan Good's parents who were also people of God. Her dad was a pastor and her mom was the first lady of their church. And they were the ones who were kind of pushing this guy in her direction. And that just struck me as odd. It was like, why would a pastor and first lady be encouraging their daughter to like get with another man while she's still married? Like at this point in the movie, she was not yet divorced, but they were already kind of nudging her in the direction of this other guy. There's healing that needs to take place between relationships. There's work to be done. Even if the other person is at fault, in the situation of the movie, you know, her husband was very abusive, but they had been together since they were teenagers. You don't just walk away from that and go hop into bed with somebody else and now you're okay. I was married for 10 years and I met my husband when I was in my first year of college. We dated the entire time I was in college and got married soon after I graduated. So I mean, all of my 20s was dating him and then marrying him in my mid 20s until I was in my mid 30s. So, yeah, you have to take time to heal. I had to get to know who am I as an individual outside of this person that I have spent 15 years of my life with, right? And so we have to make sure that we're taking the time to do that. And many of us are not, and it's causing a cycle of broken and unhealthy relationships, multiple marriages, multiple divorces. And it's just not healthy. So that is something that we really have to get a handle on, as people, as individuals, is date when you're ready, not when you just want to or when your body is giving you the urge to. The second toxic divorce trend is throwing divorce parties. I'm sorry, y'all. This is not okay. We need to stop celebrating what God explicitly says that He hates. God does not hate you if you're a divorcee. God does not hate me because I got a divorce. But the act of actually ripping apart, tearing apart what He's put together, He hates that. And He hates that because He hates what it does to us as people. Let me be clear. Some marriages need to end. There is no person who should be abused, physically beaten, and taken advantage of, sexually abused. There should be no person who is allowing adultery to continue in their marriage. If your spouse is cheating on you, you're getting STDs, there's all this kind of stuff going on. Like, no, I'm not saying we have to stay in our marriages, but I do think that we need to understand marriage the way that God has ordained it, and understand that even in a situation where a person has come out of um, a very dangerous marriage, we can certainly comfort and congratulate that person on coming out of a situation that was life threatening for them, but we don't need to celebrate the divorce with a party. When we throw a party and say, "Yay, girl, I got divorced," one, it glamorizes divorce. It makes it look good to get a divorce. It makes it look like, "Oh, this is great." Right? Um it also, I believe, interrupts your healing process because you're going immediately into celebration mode over something that you really should be mourning. You really should be sitting with and understanding what it is that has truly just happened. A death has occurred. You need to focus inwardly on the actual healing that needs to take place, not on throwing a party. And finally, this toxic thinking, on the part of Meagan Good's character, that led her to stay in an abusive marriage. Um, you know, her character was very much, she was from a religious family. Her father was a pastor, her mother, the first lady of their church. So she grew up in the church. Church was her life because that was her family's business, that was her family's profession, right? And so her take on marriage, which is a correct take, that marriage is forever. You get married, you stay in your marriage, you love your spouse, y'all work through the hard times, y'all stick together. This is ordained by God as something that you are supposed to work through with your spouse and live a life together and build a life together on until you both die, right? Until death do us part. As a sentiment for marriage in general, yes, absolutely. But for a person who is being abused, who their spouse is cheating on them and running around on them, that is not God's heart for you either. We have to be careful, especially as Christians, with what we allow ourselves to take part in, because we have an incorrect understanding of what the Bible says regarding a certain situation. And so I do think, that she could have had more wise counsel. She had support. She had her friend, who was there for her. She had her parents, but her parents were not fully understanding what was going on in her marriage, I think she lacked wise counsel. She lacked people around her who could have helped her to see, from a spiritual standpoint, from a biblical standpoint, what was really going on, and maybe she would not have stayed in the marriage as long as she did. So, those are a few of my thoughts about the movie Divorce in the Black. If you've seen the movie yourself, let me know. Like, what did you think? Are there any points that I gave that you agree with or disagree with, or anything that you want to just add to the conversation? Let me know. I'll meet you in the comments, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. In the meantime, also make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and share. Be y'all on the next one.